Okay, so this is how you can play sharp 11 on a dominant chord from different points of view, like play a G melodic minor on top of a C7 chord with a flat 5. So C dominant 7 with a flat 5 just means you're lowering the G to an F sharp. So what you got is that sound. Now if you want to just think about this for a minute, just take the C mixed Lydian scale that you know, now make it the F and F sharp, and that's all that's going on. So single string wise, here's E, here's F sharp for the flat 5, here's a 5th, here's a 6th, flat 7th root, 2nd, 3rd, there's your sharp 4, flat 5, and then there's your 5th, and there's your 6th, flat 7th, and then root way up top. So here's a root here on C, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B flat, C. I used to work on all these things and spell them out loud. So here's C, B flat, A, G. So here's your, it's a Lydian dominant. A lot of people call it that. It's called many things, but it's just taking your dominant 7th chord and you're lowering the 5th. So you just take all your scales on these strings. There's your root down here. There's your flat 5. There's your 3rd. Just put a major 7, but here's your flat 7. So if you took a C dominant 7th chord, you lowered the G to the F sharp. Now if you took a E minor 7 flat 5, which is a substitution on a regular, now you're going to lower this G down a half step to this. So there's a new chord. So you get rid of the root. Here's E, B flat, D, and F sharp. Sometimes you can do this kind of thing. So here's E minor 7 flat 5. And then it's got a A on top over C, which means A is the 13th on the C chord, and then it's going to the flat 5 sound. So if you want to get used to this, you just kind of play these chords and another inversion is to play F sharp here. Well, here's the root if you want to think of it for a minute. You do this one too. Here's the root, here's flat 5, here's flat 7, here's 9. If you want to put 13 on it, there's your A right here. Now you can play, you get rid of the C here, and this almost starts looking like a G minor 7 flat 5. If you kind of respell it. Because if you think back for a while, a C dominant 7th chord, you can play a G Dorian. So if you're gonna make it an F sharp, the same notes, you're just kind of thinking of it more from G. Instead of So anyway, those are some ideas to play on a C7, either sharp 4, flat 5, sharp 11, they're all the same thing. You're just changing the G to an F sharp on a C dominant chord. And the real cool sound is to take the D triad of a bar chord that you know and then put a B flat on the bass. Now you have D over B flat. Different sounds, it's all the same kind of thing, it just sounds a little different because of the way it's being voiced, in my opinion anyway. So that definitely has a cool sound to it. So if you ever see like in this case it's a B flat with an F sharp, so B flat and F sharp. If I'm thinking of this as the root for a minute, and this is a B flat and an A, it's a major 7th. Here's where the 5th normally is, and you raise this up to here to an F sharp. Now this is a B flat, major 7, sharp 5 chord. If you hear this from the root, and this it's like playing a G real melodic minor over the top of this. These are like the modes of G melodic minor and the things that exist within them. It's kind of a long story, but this is the start of it. Some cool things to think about anyway when next time you want to work on a chord like this. And this is like a technically this chord, if you look at it off the root, is an E minor 7 flat 5 with natural 9, which is your F sharp. It also is a C dominant 7 with sharp 11 just from a 3rd. So technically you could play this also for this. Run out of fingers. So if you imagine there's your root here, or here's your root 2, but here's flat 7, there's your sharp 5, which is F sharp. Here's your 6th, here's your 9th. If you look at it against a C. So here's a D right here. Right? D triad. I'll put a B flat in it. So here's your D triad against a B flat. Here's your D triad against this. So you can look at this. These chords and these lines all are going to work, and that's G melodic minor, B flat major 7 sharp 5, E minor 7 flat 5 with natural 9. Those are some of the more useful ones when you're looking at in relation to a C2. This is a G minor major 7. So it's kind of cool. You play all those different chords on the tape and then just see what kind of lines you can come up with. Getting more complicated here. I like these sounds.